Let's say we're just going to make a film in one country. This is what it would be like to use the sound, light, angles, colour and props that come with that. If you were to use only sound from this country, you would have no lack of sound. You can get plenty of lake and water sounds, tons of ambience and bird sounds. In winter, I think you can get a lot of snow and ice sounds as well. I can't really think of any others, but I'm sure there's tons of possibilities. You can find a lot of props around here in charity shops. There are these huge charity shops filled with shit tons of props just found in people's attics, probably from old people handed down. And you can just pick out stuff and buy it for pretty cheap. I saw a lantern in one of the shops which I thought could be quite a good prop. And when I was 12 and I was filming my medieval film here, I bought a lantern and a kettle and a cup, and I got tons of stuff. So it's perfect for getting props here. Here there are tons of woods. There's fields, lakes, woods, mountains, tons of open space everywhere. And I think the lakes could be very good for boat scenes. You probably won't need a permit either if you're a big film crew, because you can just turn up to the woods with all your camera gear, and you can even stay overnight if you need to. And there's also tons of beautiful villages here. They've got red houses, yellow houses, pink houses, and it creates this kind of fairy tale looking village. The colour palette is very green here. There's a lot of dark greens. It's very cool, it gives you a very earthy, natural feeling. And I think it would be good for like nature films, adventure films and horror films, because there's a huge variety of green tones. Around here there's also tons of red houses. Let's say someone was very eccentric in your film. You could have them in a red house to kind of show how eccentric they are on the outside. And I feel like the red houses could also give you a kind of childlike wonder feel to everything, kind of like a Tim Burton film or Cat in the Hat. Also, when filming in the woods, I'd recommend you wear like white, red or blue to kind of contrast from the green background. And also, it can feel very Wes Anderson in places. Things are kind of built in a way that makes it look Wes Anderson as well. Where I'm staying right now, it feels very Wes Anderson because of the colour palette. It's got kind of a lot of yellows, red and green. While I've been here, it's been quite cloudy a lot, but recently it started getting sunnier. And it's got quite harsh shadows, which is annoying. You might need to use bounce boards or diffusion or something like that. I come to this country quite a lot, so I'd probably recommend you filming in autumn, winter or spring, because it's not as harsh and sunny as it is now, and it doesn't burn your neck, and it's not horrible. There are tons of nice sunsets here as well. It looks really nice when it's on the pine trees. Here there's two types of woods, and one's way better for filming in. There's tal and green. And tal is a massive tall tree that looks like this. They let in way more light into the woods. Whereas the Christmas trees, or green, they close off a lot of the light and it's a very dark woods. So keep that in mind. It could depend on which style you're going for as well. You can get tons of different camera angles here. There's so many different levels of ground here, and there's also huge boulders here, which you can stand on with your tripod and film down. Because there's so much space here, I'd really recommend using a wide lens, maybe like a 12mm or something like that. And you can get some very cool results because you see the straight trees go up and it makes the woods feel massive. And there's also these bird stations around everywhere, or maybe they're hunting stations. They basically shoot deer from them, I think, and I've actually come across a double floored one. You can use that to get higher ground with your camera and shoot down at your subject. And you could probably get some very cool drone shots here. I flew my drone above the woods and it got some super cool shots at sunset. So that's all I have to say, and if you didn't guess where I am right now, I am in Sweden, which I think was pretty obvious. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and I hope you learned something. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.